What's cracking, man? What's up with you guys?
Oh, yeah.
What's up, 818?
Cracking, what's cracking, what's cracking? Damn it, hold on. Now my camera's acting up. All right.
What's up with you guys? What's up, Zane?
You got
818. So with it.
what's cracking, everybody? How many we got in here so far? We only got 30 seconds in.
10,
10 people?
10 people. It's late night.
Yeah.
What's up, Vince? Hood Boy, Juan P.
Yeah.
Hugo.
So I guess we'll wait till some more people get in
Yeah, we
here.
got 24 people in right now. Coyote, what's up? Hawaiian Pride, 808. What's up, love bro from Grifas. What's up? Shout out to Greenfield, man. What's up, Famero? TJ says, who's tweaking? Who's tweaking?
We're not tweaking. We just got breaking news, so we decided
Yeah,
to go.
I'll take my ass back to sleep. I ain't tripping. Shit.
What up? What's cracking, everybody? Just checking to see who's awake right now. And
Shit, I'm free. I go to sleep, get up in the morning, and eat again. I ain't got to go through what this dude's going to go through.
We got a bunch of people in here now, right?
Yeah, we got 263 in here. What's cracking with you guys, though?
You guys, 9 days ago, Cesar Hernandez, the escaped inmate from Delano prison, he was involved in a shootout where an officer from an elite force in Mexico was killed. And a few hours ago, he was arrested in TJ.
Got him.
Anybody that wants to look it up, because it's not on the American, news yet. Look up Punto Norte. It's a Tijuana outlet, I believe. It's a Mexican outlet, and that's where the thumbnail came from. I don't know if somebody turned him in, but the way it sounds, they were able to cordon off a bunch of streets so that they were making sure he didn't get away this time.
They were on it.
And so to me, just off the top of my head, I'm assuming that reward was nice to some people, and they were like, fuck this guy. But there was no exchange of gunfire. He may have been in an area. What's up, Trev? He may have been in an area that's frequented by people that use needles. We'll just say that. And but he was arrested. And for those of you that already saw it, I did a short. I just barely put it out right when the live started. He had luxury in California prison. California prison is a very dangerous place, but we are afforded a lot of protections by the United States Constitution. All that shit's out the window in Mexico. Killing a cop anywhere is bad business, right? Killing a female cop, he's gonna have a very, very rough time in Mexico, man. He is gonna wish he never escaped. You know
what, Dubs? And just I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised that they announced it, that they caught him. I thought there would be some corruption behind the scenes, and he would just disappear in the wind. You know what I mean? So for them to actually,
it could have been. You got to remember, the first time they went to go apprehend him, United States Marshals were there. I'm sure there was probably United States authorities with any group that was hunting him.
Yeah.
Would they been able to stop it? No. But I really feel like he was hiding out, and I think someone gave him up. It's gonna come out, but I think I mean, come on, it's Mexico. It's TJ. It was in an area that's not the best as far as for right now, what we know, right? That reward was probably looking mighty nice to somebody,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. There's a lot of people that ain't got money. You know what I think too? I think the story became too big, Dubs, because it was national news. I mean, it was world news. The story became too big, whereas I think they want the recognition for having caught this guy.
This guy. Let me kick this guy out. He says, "Why do they care about cops?" We could just kick you out. There you go. Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah. Is Gunner shocked he was captured alive? Not kind of a little
Kind
bit.
of.
Knowing how Mexico is,
I am.
yeah, I am pretty shocked. I really am. I didn't think he was. But like I was just saying right now, I think because the story became so big, they want the recognition for having been the ones to
Yeah.
caught this individual because he killed. I prior to him killing the cop, it wasn't even that serious really for them.
No.
Once
No.
he killed a Mexican officer that was that elite from that force, it became a big fucking story. So I believe, honestly, that that's the reason why he's alive, and for that reason only. But
And
now he's,
Campo Rez native says, I wonder if he's going to mysteriously not make it back to the U.S. He's not coming back to the U.S. He killed a cop over there.
yeah, he got him.
Mexico is not going to send him back. They're going to punish him over there. They know doing time there is a lot worse than here. And another thing that was mentioned was that he was apprehended. He had no shirt on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe he was trying to blend in somewhere, or he
Well,
was
it
going
was
to
kind of the way they described it, like that's kind of like they said picadillo, like people. It's an area where a lot of people are slamming, like a drug infested area.
Maybe he had a habit, Dubs. Maybe he had a habit, or that's where he was, or that he found an in with those people, thinking if I fly under the radar over here, we'll never know really, to be totally honest. But to be caught in that type of area, there's a whole bunch of either he was involved with the drug use and it just got the better of him and he got caught slipping, or like I said, he blended in, met some people. When you're on the run, you kick it with whoever you can,
But so common sense to me is this: if you're on the run for killing a cop in Mexico, a high-ranking cop, right?
Yeah.
And there's a reward out for you. Why hang around with people that have an addiction that need that money?
Those are the worst people to be around because they're the first ones that turn your ass in. Cutthroat.
Like I said, right now we're just speculating. We don't know. We just know it's a really small article. I'm telling you, you guys look up Punto Norte and you'll see it's not a very, very big article, but it is being confirmed that by that news organization, that he has been detained. So,
yeah. Vince, no, like Dubs was saying earlier, he that murder of that sergeant, that cop takes precedence over any time he was doing in the United States. Now they might be able to work. The United States may or may not be able to work something out with them, but why? Why would they? At a point in time where people are getting sent to another country anyways, why would they try to bring someone like that back when they know he's going to suffer worse in Mexican prison anyways?
Absolutely.
Think about it.
Yes, Carlos, it's confirmed by this news organization, and I'm sure by tomorrow it will be all over the internet. It will be all over the media. And I gotta, we can give credit where credit's due. I saw this first. Hector Bravo was the first one that I saw reported. When I saw it, I immediately looked through American news outlets, couldn't see it. And then you see on the picture, it says, if you look on the thumbnail, it says Punto Norte. And I typed that in and boom, it popped right up first thing. So
here's my thing, man. What's going through the mind to stay in TJ? Maybe is that where his support was? Because man, I would have been fucking. I mean, I understand it when everyone in the world's looking for you, it's hard, but I would have been long gone. I'd have been.
But maybe they had it to where he couldn't leave Tijuana.
Like they had it already sewed up everywhere, huh?
They probably had it where like you're not going nowhere else. We're gonna get you. And here's the thing. So you've been on the run. I've been on the run. It sucks being on the run. And when you're on the run and you get arrested, there's a relief that comes. I highly doubt Cesar Hernandez is ever gonna feel relief.
No, it's gonna be a world of hurt.
They are probably whooping his ass right now. And they're probably going to whoop his ass for a while. He's done, Holmes. I'm telling you, I don't know why he didn't go to the American consulate and just say, "Hey, I want to go back."
That's what I said in the first place. What I would have done. I was trying to think of putting myself in that position. In his position, I would have tried to make it back to the border and And I'd rather do life on this side than on that side, especially after killing the cop over there. It's just different. You can only imagine having been locked up, Dubs, in the system. You know how it is to even disrespect the canine, to even disrespect an officer, the type of world of hurt that they could put you in, right? We're talking about a country that, man, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, this is life. He got a nice little run. How long did he last? Since December, right?
Yeah, but he lasted 9 days since that shootout.
Oh yeah. And we said, and I really honestly, man, I was wrong. I thought it was going to be within 48 hours, but it took a little while longer. But I truly believe, like you said, Dubs, they were on him since he killed that cop. He didn't make it far. When people thought that he got away, they already knew where he was at. It just took a while to close in on him and make sure no one else got hurt.
Yeah.
They probably had him under surveillance the whole time. Here he is, people seeing the video of him get away. He thought he got away. But have we ever asked ourselves, they seen him on the camera? It's easy in this world now. If they seen him on the camera getting dressed, right, Dubs? In that car, the cameras nowadays follow you. You understand what I'm saying? People have, there's so many cameras, they just follow them from there to there to there to there,
Do you think Mexico's like that though? Like here it's like that, but I wonder if Mexico's really like that. Because here you have ring cams, you have security cams, you have so much stuff.
I think because TJ is so close to the border, maybe so. TJ is more Americanized than, like, say,
TJ's rough. TJ's
rough. I know it's rough, but everyone in the world has technology nowadays. Fucking phones are everywhere,
Palmero brings up a good point. He says, if he would have gone back, I'm almost positive the Trump administration would have given him to Mexico for the crimes anyways. You're right.
Probably, more than likely.
Right. The only thing is, I believe he's American. He's an American citizen. So had he gone to the American consulate, I think he would have been owed due process as an American citizen. Right.
Palmetto says, keep in mind, there's thousands of cameras specifically in that area. I'm just, I watched like the ID channel. I trip out on it, right? And I see that show how they fucking catch people just off the camera. Me and Dubs talked about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So unless it's a third world country where you're in the middle of fucking the jungle, like, there's gonna be cameras everywhere. And look at Dallas, there's cameras all over TJ. So like I said, we've seen the camera of him getting dressed. What's not to lead us to believe that they've watched him the whole time, seen where he holed up and said, okay, we got him, and just waited. And like Dub says, shut every different avenue of escape down till he ended up without a t-shirt, fucking in the alley with some tecatos until they got him. What I mean?
In an area, we don't know if it was an alley or what, but it was
it was an area.
I wonder if he like I mean, I don't know if you've ever done that. I've done that when I'm being chased by the cops, like you're on the block or whatever, and whatever you're wearing, you hit some fences and you get rid of that top layer. Like if you got a penalty on it or whatever, boom, now you're hit a few blocks and then bam, then you just try to walk away like I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe that's why he took his shirt off. Maybe he saw them posting up and just dipped in somewhere and took a shirt off and thought that was gonna get rid of him, but they were on it.
They were already on. Bro, the border towns are covered in camera. Exactly, Palmetto. And I was thinking that too. Nowadays, with everything going on the border with them tightening security, remember, just recently Mexico decided to put more border patrol on the border, right? And because TJ's on the border, man, there's a lot of authority figures in that area, in TJ, everywhere across the border. So he was in a place right there where he should have just made it to the consulate. But even then, like Dubs is saying, man, he might have been given over by the administration anyway.
Well,
so
Palmetto said that, and I'm just my 2 cents. We have to look at both sides. If he is an American citizen, he would have, I think, had some due process coming. If he's a Mexican citizen, then there's no way they would have been like, nah, you got to go back out there.
Yeah, they would have shut the door to him, sent him back out. He would have been arrested right there. But again, everything's going to come out in the wash. Like, we're going to hear more, or we're not. With the Mexican prison system, and as corrupt as it is, this man is definitely not comfortable right now. I'll just say that.
No, and I don't think he'll ever be comfortable. And I'm wondering what kind of tattoos he has. And the reason why I say that is because I don't know, but I remember in talking to Paisas in the joint, You know how a lot of Mexicanos born here, they like to put the águila on them, or the Mexican flag on them. And I remember Paisa saying, like, hey, you vatos are a trip, because if you go to Mexico and you go to prison, they're gonna think you support the government.
That's
I wonder if he has an águila on him, or if he has the flag. Thank you, Jackson. And he may not, but I'm just, it's just something to throw out there, because I remember the Paisa saying that.
Yeah. And depending upon where they house him, I would think Dubs, because of who he killed and what he's locked up for, man, it's not like he's immediately going to be placed in like an holding tank area with a whole bunch of people. He's going to be segregated and worked over for a little while.
Damn, electric shocks in the huevos, cold showers, 3 or 4 a.m. Damn, yeah. They over here you can't do that. There's certain things the cops will do, and then they'll get hit with a lawsuit over here. Over there, nah. Man. And no, somebody said he's going to do time in the United States and Mexico. No, he's going to a prison in Mexico, and we'll never hear from him again.
Farmero says not only that, but Mexicanos are not too fond of American games. That's the truth. That's the truth. It's not like you got.
Gunner said that he wasn't running. He was running Paisa.
That's right? From what I'm hearing. Yeah, from what I heard, that he was running.
He may not have been from a barrio, because I mean, it has happened where there have been, dudes that were from barrios in Southern California ran Paisa, but it's not a lot that I've seen do that.
Cameron, does Gunners think he'll be killed in prison? Do you? Cameron, look inside yourself if you've ever been locked up in Mexico, and ask yourself, this man killed a police officer, a high-ranking officer from an elite task force in Mexico. Not only did he bring attention to all the criminal activities that were going on in that area, which is not something you want to do, but also, man, them police officers took it personal. She was a female. So I agree, Cameron. Yes, I think he might not make it out of that prison.
C. Carrera says, Cesar Hernandez has not been caught. I want to be the one and only one on record to have said that. He is no longer in TJ, and he's not in custody of any authorities. Well, go ahead and look at Punto Norte, read the news article, and then explain that. We're reporting what's being reported in TJ.
Yeah. And again, if for some fucking crazy alien abduction reason that he's not, some conspiracy theory reason he's not, they're reporting in Mexico that he is. Now, again, Mexico is different, okay? So they may be reporting this to save face, and maybe he's not. I don't know. But from what that article says, he is, and this is being reported by them. And also Hector Bravo had it on his channel. So we've done our homework to the best of our knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, Carrera, I see you say he was convicted of murder in Southern California. Yeah, now we know that. He had 80 years to life. Mm-hmm. He was on a court run. He was going to court for weapons possession as well as drugs possession. But you're saying that he wasn't caught, and I'm telling you, Punto Norte, Google it, read the article, and then tell me how it's fake. I'm just curious.
Yeah. Again, man, I know there's a lot of people that they're looking at him like, we want you to get away. We want him to get away, right? And that's fine, man. You don't ever want to see anyone incarcerated unless they're a weirdo. But at the end of the day, the fact is, man, if he's caught, he's caught. And there's
the other news organization in TJ, the Zeta, they are also reporting that he's captured. So once again, let me know how he is not captured, big dog. You have the two media outlets from Tijuana both reporting that he is captured. So just let me know, since you want to be the first one on record saying that what we're saying is not true. Yeah. I want to be the first one on record telling you both news outlets in TJ are saying he's captured. So I did the thumbnail, and there's the Zeta right there. It's hard to read, but that's the Zeta showing him that he is captured.
Not only that, right? Just like when we broke the news that he got into the shootout with the cops, we beat fucking the Mexican media outlet and the American media outlet by a few minutes. Here's the thing. Also, man, if you guys recall, when Money Sign Suede unfortunately was killed in prison, me and Dubs were the first ones to report that as well. And hey, there was a dude that went on record saying we were full of shit. We didn't know what we were talking about. He took an hour later, he took down that post, and we all know how that ended up. So we're not gonna bullshit you guys. We're gonna do our homework to the best of our knowledge, and it just is what it is, man. You know, no disrespect, bro, but you gotta do homework.
Is you are right, Eastside, but that is also the name of this new media organization.
Nah, I didn't do no bumps. I was fucking sound asleep.
It's right there, homeboy.
Hold it up a little bit more, Dubs. You can't really see it right there.
I see it perfect.
No, I know you do, but we can't on the camera.
No, I'm looking at the camera.
Oh yeah, set libre como. Yeah. All right, I see it. Yes, you guys knew what you're talking about. No, absolutely. And it's crazy, but more now. We're not even talking about whether he's caught or not. We're talking about what's going to happen after he's caught.
That right there. Ezekiel says he was probably bringing heat to the picadero, and the state police told everyone, "You want us to you want us to leave? Turn him in." Makes sense.
Yeah, like I said, man. And I look at it from a prison aspect, right? Having done so much time, when you're fucking up on the yard and you're drawing attention to your people, negative attention, you can go. You know what I mean? You can go. You're very expendable because nobody wants you to rock the boat. Same thing, man. When you're in an area where there's a lot going on, it's the frontera, a border town. There's a lot going on there, man, and people are being harassed. Places are being hit. Best believe, man, a cop's tactic. They're gonna hit the local, thieves, cutthroats in that area, and be like, "Hey, we're not gonna stop. We're gonna exhaust all our resources to fuck with everyone until this guy's giving up. If any of you are helping him, they're gonna give his ass up, straight up." Thank you, Juan.
Thanks for the late live, fellas. Got to wake up for the gym at 6. Be waiting on the uploads. Done, Dubs, 818, Lali, and all the chat. Buenas noches. Thank you, homie.
Yeah. And I mean, that's just how it is, man. How he was caught, who gave him up, we'll never know, of course. They're not going to announce that, but he's caught. And so now what happens from that point on? And that's what we're discussing. There's a lot of theories. I'm shocked. I woke up out of a dead sleep. Dubs called me. I jumped up. Let's go live immediately. He made the thumbnail. I jumped up. My thing is, I didn't think he was going to be alive, to be honest with you. So I am shocked. I thought that guy would be long gone in the wind, either out of there, because I was talking to someone behind the scenes and I was giving some different information, to be honest with you, a few days ago. So I was not sure. That's why we didn't run with it, because we couldn't verify. But that guy was wrong. Don't be shocked if he's not gonna. I wouldn't be. I'm not shocked if he's alive or not, to tell you the truth, obviously, right at this point. Because now that he is apprehended, now he has to go through the system. And now you have to look at it from the American side of things, like Dub's saying, man. In that country, they're not, depending on who he is, they're not looking at him like everyone on YouTube is looking at him like he's some type of folk hero or he got away. They're looking at him like, "Hey, bro, don't bring that vato over here. He's going to draw too much attention."
Yeah, and there's been a couple people in the chat saying that someone may pay someone inside to take him out, and that's very well possible. Over here you wouldn't be able to do that in California, but over there, shit, money talks, man.
Hey, Eastside, I think Mel's the last of his thoughts right now. Mel's not even
even if people wrote, I doubt he would get the mail. The Mexican authorities are going to hate his guts. They're going to punish that guy, man.
He killed a very, very, very well-known, high-ranking official there. She was beloved by a lot of people, So, I mean, he hit the wrong one. It's just a matter of circumstance. So he's you don't kill a police officer in Mexico and get away with it, especially a female in that position. That is crazy. Like, that fool did the worst, the unthinkable. It's just the way the world worked out. And a female, says Anthony. Yes, sir. Now,
Kamai says, "I just looked at his wanted poster. Why does it say he's white?" So I don't know if you're aware, but a lot of Mexicans for a very long time in the United States, they put us down as white. on our birth certificates. It was, I think, the late 70s or the beginning of the 80s where they changed it, and then they started putting Hispanic or Mexican. Prior to that, they would, like, mine says white.
Yeah.
And most of us, like older Mexicans, you know, it said white.
When they used to do the census, we were considered, when they did the tallying on the consensus, we were Caucasian.
Yeah, and they would say non-white Hispanic, Hispanic non-white or some. I don't remember what.
Yeah, white, Caucasian Hispanic non-Caucasian or something like that. Yeah, it was like that. I agree with Gunnar. I thought they was going to get street justice. Yeah. Oh, I believe so too. Me and Dubs both talked about it. We agreed that we didn't think he was going to be talked about anymore. Or Scott.
Yeah, Amari. They for census purposes, they were doing that up until I believe it was like 1979, 1980.
Yeah, they did that. Same thing when you went to go get a job back in the days. There was no circle that said Hispanic. It was Caucasian or black, and they considered Asians as well. And then when they started to diversify things and things started changing, they had put Pacific Islanders, they put Hispanic, they added Native American, but up until then it was just Caucasian and black for the longest.
Real quick, Nightmare is talking about that guy in El Salvador. He says, Dubs, I think the senator of Maryland used taxpayer money to fly to El Salvador to see Kilmore Garcia. Somebody went over there and asked the president of El Salvador to let him bring that guy back. And the president of El Salvador told him, why would I let you take a Salvadorian citizen?
Yeah.
He's a citizen of this country. He's not going anywhere.
Devil Dog says, I enlisted in 2000 and went overseas at the end of 2001. I was still listed as white for Latino Mexicans. Yeah, there's still some places that do that.
Check out Art Perez. Damn, Dubs, you're Dubs like that. You're worse than a high knot, but you're the one acting like a biatch. So let me go ahead and block you. Thank you for getting anyways, back to who gives a damn.
Back to fucking normal people that ain't on Scante.
They have to read us.
Again, man, we'll recap because we got over 650 people in here. We'll recap. I'll let Dubs do the recap since I'm barely waking up. Go ahead, Dubs.
So the escaped inmate who escaped, he's not from Delano. He escaped from the prison in Delano. He was housed there and escaped from court on a court run. In December, 9 days ago, he was involved in a shootout with Mexican authorities where a high-ranking police woman was killed. And tonight, he was arrested in Tijuana, and he's now in custody. And he's probably in a world of pain. And for the rest of his life, he's going to wish he would have never escaped. He already had 80 to life to do in California. He actually probably could have got out on that, too. The way things are in California now, he would have had to give him at least 20, 30 years, but he probably could have gotten out.
Yeah,
he will not get out. He will not get out of prison in Mexico. He's going to suffer, man. I was saying earlier, if you kill a cop, it doesn't matter which country, which state, but when you kill a female cop, it's a lot worse. And those prison guards in Mexico, wherever he's housed, they're gonna have something to say about that.
And again, man, like I was saying earlier, because people are asking, because when it first happened, I put out there, I didn't think he was gonna make it. I thought he was going to be deceased, right? The thing is, I believe the story got too big. I believe it got too much attention, and now it shifted from, yes, he will be punished in prison. Yes, they will go do all that because, they could take you in a back room, do whatever they want, especially in Mexico. They do it in America, so they'll do it over there. But the thing was, because it got so big, because it gained world news, and because the officer was so high ranking that was involved, and like the homie said right now, she actually had a show on, I think it was, I don't know what channel it was, like American Crime type thing she had going on. Like, she was pretty well known. Because of that is the reason why they apprehended him. I think they want the recognition for being. I
think also a big part of it is the American authorities are all over Mexico right now looking for him as well. And I'm pretty sure whoever moved in on him to capture him, there was probably U.S. Marshals there.
Yeah.
He's an American citizen, I believe. right? And if I'm wrong, then Mexico could have done whatever they wanted to him. But the
Mhm.
fact that the Americans were there during the shootout leads me to believe he's an American citizen.
Concentric Huevos says they caught him in the Hong Kong district, and TJ, again, from what Dubs read, man, he was in a pretty much an area where drug addicts are, and he was caught without a shirt, so he looked like he was either down on his luck or trying to blend in. It
And I
seems like the guy
believe,
doesn't wear a shirt.
well, I believe he had a gun on him too, and he was smart enough not to use it because obviously he didn't have walls to hide behind this time,
Mhm.
And I think maybe that's why he was without his shirt and laying down on his stomach, because he was like, no, don't shoot this time.
He got tired of running, like we said, man. Myself and Dubs have both been on the run. I've been on the run in Mexico, right? Again, a whole different situation. I
Hey,
didn't have the world looking for me, But
gracias,
it's
Luis.
old. Thank you. Jose says he's doing 130 years in TJ for killing the cop. In Mexico, they give you 7 to 10 years for a gun.
Yeah, I mean, he already had 80 life.
Yeah, he's canceled anyway. No matter where he goes, whether it's the United States or there, he's doing all day. I mean, he did have action because laws changed in the United States, and the term lifer anymore doesn't mean that anymore. Like, people get out. You see all kinds of people that you thought would never. Dubs got out. You see people get out. So the lifer term isn't what it used to be. Back then, lifer was like lifer.
I'll say this, because of the ARC, the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, they had a lot of changes put in place in the California Department of Corrections, and basically, it's incentive based. If you want to go home, you're going to go to school. You go to school, you're going to get, you're going to get some accolades, and you're also going to get some time off. You get a degree, you're going to get some time off. You go to AA for 6 months, you get some time off. You go to AA every 6 months, you can do that. Every group that they have, AA, NA, AVP, CGA, like there's a lot of self-help groups. If you're consistently going, you're consistently bettering yourself, you are opening the door to get back out of prison, even if you're a lifer. They don't have none of that in Mexico, so there he goes.
To be pretty blunt with you guys, he's not gonna. I don't see him making it in Mexico too long in the system. Because right now it might be kind of a thing like, all right, we want to be able to claim that we got him. The United States is looking in because, he escaped from there and whatever. But once the United States officers go home and he gets walked to that.
No, not even that. Once he's in custody, yeah.
They're gonna get theirs too. It's over.
Philly's finest, real quick. No, that's only for California. Right, as of right now, that's only for California. But normally, the rest of the country follows California's lead. For that, though, I don't know if other states want to do it. But the ARC put their own money, millions of dollars. Scott Budnick, thanks to Scott Budnick, he put millions in play in order to get people, those of us that never had a voice. He made sure we had a voice and laws were changed. That's how I got out. And I believe, I would like to say at least close to 10,000 lifers have gotten out since they
got him. Yeah, they got him. And again, man, like in Dubs will tell you too, he'll double down on it, that back then, man, when we first started doing time, life meant life. I mean, there was people getting out. Of course, you get 15 to life. Back then, they used to give you people a 10 to life, 6 to life, 8 to life. And people were getting out. But when you were like a lifer, like in the 90s, because there were so many lifers, people were killing people left and right, especially in the 90s. Them dudes weren't getting out until quite recently. Now they're starting to get out. You see a lot of guys that got
so this in the 70s is when they had the 7 to lifers, the 5 to lifers that could get out. And that changed in with I believe it was Governor Brown. He's the one that said fuck that. And that's why he contacted the ARC. He knew he couldn't stop the ARC. It was during his governorship where he said, hey man, let me link up with you guys. And Governor Brown said that he had just come back from and Scott Budnick told us this. He had said that he had just come back from a European tour, and he was looking at all the prisons over there, and he was explaining to people over there that you could be 15 years old in California and get a life sentence. And over there, they were like, there's no fucking way. Like, people can change, right? And he said he was embarrassed. And then Duke Majan gets a lot of the heat and Pete Wilson because they were Republicans, but it was actually Brown that
Jerry
put in
Brown.
place.
Yeah.
It was him that put in place making all these level 4 180 prisons. Like let's really slam down on these dudes. And he said he felt guilt for that. And so he stamped his name on it. But so when I got arrested in 1993. When they put the handcuffs on me, I knew I was going to die in prison. There was no doubt. And so I acted accordingly, and it wasn't until I think 2013, around there, 2013 or 14, somewhere around there, where the ARC got SB 260 passed, where if you were under the age of 18 when you committed your crime, you had to be evaluated as a juvenile.
You got a second look. Yeah.
No, you had to be evaluated as a juvenile because your brain wasn't fully functioning. They knew when you go back to YA, how long could you be in YA till?
Till you were actually to 24.
Your 25th birthday, they had to put you in the county jail and decide what they were going to do with you, right?
Yeah.
You're a lifer. So they knew the brain wasn't fully developed until 25. So they knew, everybody that was fucking with ARC knew when 260 passed, 261 was going to be next. That's where I fell under. It was if you were under 21. Now it's under, I think, 24. If you're under the age of 24, when you caught your case, you have to be evaluated as a juvenile. There's a whole different criteria for you.
My brother fell under the same thing, and he got that's why he got a few year kick, because he fell under that same rule of law, and he got like some people call it a second look. It wasn't a second look; it was an evaluation, and he was able to utilize that to get out a few years earlier than what his projected release date was. Zipacteli, what's up?
No, Anthony, he may have said that, but it was actually Greg Davis who said the only way a lifer is going to get out of California prisons. Oh no, he said the only way a murderer will be released from a California prison is in a box. That was Greg Davis who said that part. Pete Wilson was a piece of shit, so he may have said what you said, but Greg Davis also said what I said.
I actually see, and this is here's a cold fact, right? Something that you're never gonna hear. I actually seen a letter from Governor Pete Wilson when we were in Fred C. Nellis, one of the homeboys from San Francisco. We got into a riot. He got stabbed. He got stabbed in the eye, well, right under the eye, right? And his mother immediately, man, she started, going crazy. She got a lawyer. She was doing this and that. She got a hold of Governor Pete Wilson in the office and wrote him a letter. And she said, you got my son. He's from Northern California. You guys place him there. These guys are getting, you put them there. Like basically, there's only 10 of them and 20 of them, and there's 1,000 of their opposition. And anyways, I seen the letter signed by Governor Pete Wilson back to her. She sent it to her son that said, "Hey, there's no such thing as Northern California Youth Authority. Your son's in the California Youth Authority. I'll send him wherever I want." Signed, Governor Pete Wilson. I said, "Oh, we're fucked." Yeah. That's true story. So yeah, he changed the youth authority system a lot. He's the one that started sending Northerners sign the thing.
No, it wasn't Pete Wilson. What he did,
he didn't give a fuck.
No, so what happened was he appointed a brand new director of youth authorities.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So the California Youth Authority was a branch of the California Department of Corrections. They were the same branch, right?
Yeah.
So somebody retired or something, and a brand new head of the California Youth Authority was put in place. When the new head of the California Youth Authorities was put in place, he evaluated all of the institutions, and he apparently he noticed that all the guys from Southern California, the Mexicans from Southern California, went to every single youth authority, whereas all the Mexicans from Northern California only went to northern ones, and they were concentrated there. Wow. And no matter how much trouble they got into, they stayed there. And he said, no, they're going to go everywhere just like everyone else. What happened?
All right, Jessica, I'll go ahead and let you go on that one, Tirada, because first, do you guys know what you're talking about? Me and Dubs combined got almost 50 years of incarceration, just myself and him. We've both been convicted of murder cases. Dubs was a lifer in the California system. I was a juvenile lifer. We did time in some of the worst prisons and youth authorities in the world, right? When it was at its worst time. So, we have an extensive knowledge of incarceration. So thank you, though. Jessica, I'll see you finding Bigfoot. What's up, Batman?
Thank you, Jim. How you doing? Yeah, and I gave the shout out to former correctional officer Hector Bravo. He's the one that posted it. I saw it on IG, and as soon as I saw it, I looked around the American media outlets. They didn't have it. Then I looked up Punto Norte, and there it was, popped up first. Got that gun, and we jumped on here. And then it's also been confirmed by a second news agency in Tijuana. And so, yeah, I'm sure you're right. He's getting some flashlight treatment right now. He's gonna be in a world of pain for a very long time.
Batman, he's gonna get one of those old school elevator rides. He's gonna get that extra extensive talking to, squat and cough, but like in a real way. Flashlight treatment. Let me see.
A 11X1. We're gonna go ahead and just let you know we're not gonna be doing that. Let's be respectful.
Hey, 11. Come on, 11. Let me see. Don't do
Mikey
What? Yeah, go ahead, Dubs. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying what's up to the homie.
Yeah. Again, man, these guys are a trip.
I mean, maybe 11X1 is a supporter of the channels, homie, but we're not going to be disrespecting people. That's another content creator. She has a channel, and so she maybe goes, on other channels, shows love, and other channels show love back. Not a bad thing. Yeah.
Here's one thing about myself and Dubs, man. We've always promoted this. We're not, because you support someone that we're not maybe in good standings with, or they're not in good standings with us, we're not cool with each other. We don't say don't go support everybody, especially if they're a raza. Support everybody, man. Just don't come back and tell us some drama and play both sides. You can be cool with whoever you want, man. We're not dictators. We're not trying to dictate your program.
Okay, Mikey. So now I know we're 8 hours difference. It's midnight. It's 12:02 over here for me. So we're 8 hours difference.
Yeah. Again, man, and Dubs woke me up out of a dead sleep, but I'm glad he did, because this is a very interesting topic and conversation. And I'm sure tomorrow it's going to be on every fucking content creator's channel. You might even see a video or two on our channels where we get more, because my mind's foggy right now, where I get more in depth on my perspective on it. And I'm sure Dubs is thinking the same thing. The thing is, we only know what they're reporting, and what they're reporting right now is he's busted. We don't know where they're housing him right now. We don't know exactly where he was caught. They're giving a brief description of the area he was caught in, but not the exact area. Mm-hmm. A lot of things are not being reported other than he's been captured. And now we're going to see how it ends up. Mm-hmm. I think he'll just disappear. He says Gunner's face is all swole, is it?
I woke him up. It was content time, man. Like, be careful, Kevin. Make sure I don't know where you're getting faded at. Make sure you're being smart and you're being safe, big dog.
Get an Uber. They said very true. You have 3 hours before the East Coast mainstream media gets a hold of this. Oh, it's going to be world news. It's going to be all over the place, and especially because it involves two different countries. But even more so than that, with everything that's going on, it involves the relationship between Mexico and the United States right now. It's a little shaky with all the tariff shit and all that going on. So,
yeah, but it involves a joint. Pause. I believe it's on pause for Mexico.
Yeah,
he paused it for certain people.
Mm-hmm. And because this was like kind of a joint operation, it's like they put that difference to the side and work together. When it comes to criminals and it comes to anything like that, man, they're going to put certain things to the side to work together hand in hand to make the streets safe for both, communities.
Somebody said you can tell Dubs has been up online. So just so you guys know, I usually don't fall asleep till around 1 a.m. Mm-hmm. And I'm we're content creators. Myself, I'm looking at what's going on online. I'm looking at IG, I'm looking at TikTok, I'm looking at YouTube, and that's how I saw this story. It was Hector Bravo that broke it. He posted it. He should have did a video. He would have took everybody by storm.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. Because we're content creators. If Dubs sees something,
I don't do drugs.
That's why he got my line. He'll just call me, boom, and I'll jump up. Same thing with me and him. And this is something that we've been following up on for a while. kind of like with me and the Cain Velasquez thing, man. I was looking into it every single day. I'm still, because I got a different angle on it that I'm focusing on now when it comes to that. Caesar,
Philip
yeah, go
says,
ahead,
I
bro.
feel like when you be sipping, that I think I'm active. The fuck? If I was active, I wouldn't be on camera. I wouldn't even have got out of prison. What do you mean?
Yeah. WTP says you're lying. Dubs, you were gaming.
No,
He's
no,
doing
I
that
got
too.
no. The game right now is so ruthless, so
Sweaty as
sweaty.
fuck.
It's hard. Man, it's very frustrating right now.
Yeah, Anthony, and you know what? There's more pissing off yet to come because um the victim in the case, I guess you can call him the victim, the victimizer, whatever you want to call him, the other guy, the one that was shot at, goes to trial on June the 2nd. So and there's a good possibility. I'm not going to say it, but there's a good possibility that you know, he might not be convicted, man. Not a lot of evidence there. I've been
Uh,
looking into it.
no, it wasn't U.S. Marshals that got him. It was I think it was an elite Mexican unit that got him this time, and they cordoned off the streets. They were making sure he didn't have anywhere to go. He was arrested. I believe he had a gun on him. We'll find out more. He had no shirt on and he was laying down on his stomach. So he was making sure they didn't think he was a threat.
He tapped out this time. And again, that could be he just nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, or he got tired. You know, you get tired, man. Being on the run. Imagine the everyone's like, yeah, Caesar, they're making corridos, they're doing this, and we're living our daily life, just talking about it and then moving on. This was his life, 24 hours a day. You know, it's all good to talk about Cesar Hernandez, but Cesar Hernandez was living Cesar Hernandez shit. And man, being on the run, even when you're not in that position, just being on the run, especially in Mexico, I was there before. It's exhausting. Like you don't know who to trust. You're looking at your own homies like, motherfucker, like, shit. It's crazy, you know. So and we were nothing in comparison to him. Like he had the whole world looking for him. We just had fucking a few fucking dudes from Merced looking for us. We actually went back home
Cameron,
and kicked it for a few months.
Cameron wants to know, did the female officer who was killed have body armor? Why was she the only dead? I mean, I would assume she had body armor on, but the body armor isn't going to be on your face. So I would think maybe that's
Hit
where
her
the
in the
bullet
neck, the
hit.
face.
I can't confirm this, but a friend of ours that lives in TJ said that what was being reported there was that when they went, I guess they thought it was going to be an easy apprehension, and when the gunshots rang out, she dropped immediately, and the officers that were with her broke wide. They jumped in their trucks and they burnt rubber. I don't know how true that is because at least 100 rounds hit that house. I don't know if they were going in or coming out, but that house was bullet riddled.
Here's another thing too.
That was the shootout. That wasn't today.
Here's another thing too. With her, she, from what they're reporting, her personality, she was the main person, so she would be the first to go in. Like she wanted
Absolutely.
her the way she was. She wanted to be the first one in. She was very dedicated to her job. This wasn't her first merry-go-round. She was known to apprehend, and her whole get down was to get Americans that were on the run. That's why they call it the gringo hunters. Americans that were on the run hiding in Mexico. So her whole task force was, she was the leader of, so she was on the frontline status, going in first. You know, I'm sure had a lot to say, and he bopped her. He wasn't playing. She wasn't expecting it. You know, she was the leader. Yeah, Anthony, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, Vince, there might have been friendly fire.
There could have been. We don't know, but I guarantee you they're not going to. It's not the United States. They're not going to want to make sure it wasn't one of their officers. The guy was. They were going to arrest somebody, and bullets started flying. Hey, you're busted, big dog.
Yes, it's just like if you go with the homeboy to a store, he goes in to rob the store, someone gets killed, there's a shootout. You know, you're going to get blamed for his murder if the cops kill him. You're going to catch not only
Joshua says nothing on CNN right now. No, it's not. You know, a lot of these media organizations right now are barely working on their stories in the United States.
It'll be out in the morning.
It's on 2 media outlets that are based in Tijuana, where he was apprehended, and someone else said that they saw it on Yahoo News now. So Cesar says the FGE is equivalent to the feds in the States. There you go.
Yeah, She definitely was, like I said, an elite officer.
I didn't want to say it, Lali, but yeah, you're right.
Hey, Lali, I doubled down on that.
And look at Aiden. Aiden said, "Why are you even watching CNN?"
Exactly, and we don't. You know what I'm saying? It's a Fox thing with me.
Thank
anyway,
you, Niners.
I'm waiting for Fox 40, says Lali. Trying to get the pura, huh? The 10-5 a key. Hey, that's right, WPP Niners. Big George, what's happening, man? Shout out to you. Again, our plan wasn't even to go live tonight, but man, this is breaking news. Again, if it hasn't even hit the American news mainstream media yet, you know we're gonna bring it to you guys first, man. And again, big shout out to Hector Bravo, who was the first one on social media to speak on it. You know, you got to give him his flowers, man. Lately, man, he's been breaking some news, man. He's on it. He's on his shit, Hector Bravo.
All right, LBC. Good night. And we're not gonna stay on much. I mean,
no, we're gonna be out here in a few minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna be out of here in a couple minutes, man.
But we appreciate all the support. Again, man, if you're new to the channel and you're just tapping in for this specifically, we will be doing videos that give you maybe a little bit more details and as we look into it, just like anyone else is. But we got a perspective on it, an opinion that I think counts. So make sure you guys tap in with us. Mm-hmm. Definitely make sure you tap in with us because we appreciate the support, and make sure you like, subscribe our channels. The Dubs channel, Dub S, and the Dub S World, Gunners Collective TV, as well as the Collective Clips. We appreciate it, man. Anyways, got anything else to say, Dubs?
No, that's it. I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm gonna probably be taking these down off of the live, and I'm gonna post it as a video, and then I'll probably be doing another video as more information comes in tomorrow.
Absolutely, man. And I concur. I doubled down on that. So that's probably what's going to happen. So if you guys want to watch the whole live, it's going to be put into video form here within the next hour. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate you guys. With that being said, catch you guys tomorrow with some banging ass content.
All right, you guys. Take care.